I've just come out of the screening for the Iron Claw, which follows the true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers. They made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling, and it takes place in the early 1980s. This movie is written and directed by Sean Durkin, and a big shout out to Roadshow for inviting me to an early critic screening for this one. I think the New Zealand premiere was supposed to, or is going to be held mid to late January for us in New Zealand here. So I'm very thankful that they invited me to this one because, man, it's a great movie. It's really, really good. I am very impressed. I'll start with the key highlight of this movie, and for me, it's got to be this ensemble. These cast members here. It's headlined by Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson, and they are the three of the Von Erich brothers, and I would say they're probably the most. They have the biggest roles in the film, and they are absolutely incredible. And they elevate this movie to a whole new degree. Shout out to Lily James as well. She's also in this film, and she's very good in that supporting role. But yeah, starting with Harris Dickinson, we saw him in Triangle of Sadness, which was also, which was Best Picture nominee at last year's Oscars, I believe. But yeah, he was the main actor in that one, and he's absolutely great here. Jeremy Allen White, we know him as Kami in The Bear. If you haven't seen that show, go watch it. But he brings a lot of that performance to this performance. You know, that really kind of fiery, explosive, really intense kind of role. It's very similar to the one here, and he's just absolutely committed. And then, let's talk about Zac Efron. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, but I've never thought that Zac Efron is a quality actor. And what I mean by that is when he is in a movie, I don't automatically think, yep, it's going to be a quality performance or a fine performance. He has been very inconsistent with his roles, but I have always been someone that's always been rooting for him, as I've always believed that he has the potential to do really great roles. And we've seen glimpses of it before, which is probably why I've held that faith. But this is the performance. This is the thing that I've been waiting for years and years from Zac Efron. A well-rounded quality performance. He puts so much into this. Honestly, in terms of the best actor race this year, it's a very dense year. But I wouldn't be mad if there's a nomination here. It's a career best performance by a long shot. By a long shot. It's one of the best things it is the best thing I've ever seen him in, and it is the best I've seen Zac Efron. I hope this marks a turning point for his career. But these three actors, the ones that I've just talked about, they are the heart and soul of the movie because their performances, they're just so committed. And you can't just tell that by their impressive physiques and physical performance of the role, but also the emotions behind it and the chemistry and love that these characters have for each other. You just feel like that these guys have a brotherhood in real life as well. It's so compelling. The casting director for this film deserves a raise. They deserve to come on to other stuff as well because what they've done here, they've just chosen such great people to headline this film. And yeah, honestly, very, very impressive. Further to that, the movie itself, I know there might be people coming into this movie and they're wanting to see the wrestling side of things. And the way I would define this film is that it's not a wrestling movie. It is a drama movie with wrestling in it. It's very similar because I saw Ferrari last night. Ferrari is a drama with racing in it. Ford vs Ferrari is a racing movie with drama in it, and the same can be said, except for wrestling for the Iron Claw. So there is wrestling in it, and those wrestling sequences, they're a lot of fun. They're a good time. I think this movie acts on, or it's a really good commentary on wrestling, or showing wrestling as a compelling sport, because I think a lot of us we see wrestling and like, oh yeah, this is a silly show, haha. But there is a real aspect to it, and the movie does a good job at highlighting that, and plays really well into the character dynamics, not between the Von Erich brothers, but between the father and those brothers as well, because the father in this, who is played by Holt McCallany, he's really great in the role, but he plays Fritz Von Erich, who is the brother of this big family here, and he's really kind of the centerpiece at the things unfolding and how it happens. It's yeah, I don't know how to say it, but I will tell you that it is emotionally devastating. It's a tough movie to stomach. It's yeah, stuff happens in the movie. That's all I am going to say. I do not want to give away any spoilers and give away any unnecessary context to this film, just because some moments in this movie have a surprising element to them, and I don't want to take that away from anyone that's listening to this. But yeah, I think it's so well written by Sean Durkin here. Yeah, he's done such a great job at handling an ensemble cast, providing character arcs, developing the characters, the story, adding some commentary and thematics to the film. I just think it's really well done. But yeah, there's so much to take away from this, from the story part of it. But yeah, I'll move on now to the more technical side of the thing. We'll start off with the wigs, eh? The wigs clearly show that it is the 1980s because they look a little dorky, don't they? The classic fringe and all that kind of stuff. I can't believe that was in style back in the day. But yeah, it really places you in the world of the early 1980s and goes further to that into the wrestling world, and we see that through the use of production design, makeup and hairstyling. You'll get that sense of everything there. As for the cinematography, I think it truly shines when it comes to the wrestling scenes, particularly in having really quite intimate lighting and having real extras in the background. It just adds to quite an authentic experience. You can tell that the actors are really they have a high physical load to carry it in this film, and that's not the case for a lot of films these days. But the actors do such a great job with adding a lot of value to the visual imagery of the film, and a part of that is the cinematography as well. As we get some really intense kind of close-up shots where you see the sweating and blood at times as well. And we also get the kind of camera angles that they're basically the same as broadcasting angles, so it's kind of like you're watching live wrestling as well. So you get a nice balance of things. And yeah, it mainly comes in the wrestling segments. The other segments, I think it's just your standard kind of cinematography. Nothing really special is happening during those times. Yeah, and I would say the score and the song selection, I think they're just really strong. But overall, if I am gonna give the highlights of the film, the positive aspects, it goes towards the script and it goes towards the cast. And I think both of those aspects need each other to be at their best. And I think they really are at the best right here. This is honestly one of my favorite movies of the year. I absolutely recommend it to anyone who's watching this. If you're a fan of Zac Efron, come watch this movie. Watch him take the next step in his career with a really good performance. If you like The Bear and you like Jeremy Allen White, another movie that's for you. It's this one here. For those people who love wrestling, this is a movie for you. For anyone who just loves a good drama, a good story, and a good message at the end, this movie is for you. But yeah, that's all I can really say on it. I would love to go into more detail about this movie because there are just there's just some moments or the events unfold that I would have really good conversations with people about. But yeah, honestly, go see this one. I know it comes out in cinemas in a couple of weeks for the Americans. I think for the UK, it's in February, and for New Zealand, it's at the end of January, which is unlucky, but you're listening to this review, so now it's on your radar, and now you're going to be watching it. At least I hope so. Trust me, give it a chance. Anyway, guys, we are done here on the review for the Iron Claw. Have you seen it yet? Probably not, because it's not out yet. But when you do, jump on over to @MovieGains on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, comment below. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Give us a rating to what you think we deserve. Jump on over to Twitter. You can message us there. You can comment there. Let us know what you thought about this movie when you do go and see it. If you're excited for it, let us know why. And hopefully I can elevate that excitement for you. Otherwise, you know where to catch us, moviegains.com. We do a whole bunch of content there right now. We're doing all the Oscars, precursor tracking. We do box office, physical media, the works when it comes to movies. So yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.